It wasn't loud. It wasn't angry. But somehow, it hit harder than any headline in months. One of Prince Harry's ex-girlfriends, someone who stayed silent through years of chaos, scandals, and royal headlines, has finally spoken out. And what she said, or rather how she said it, has sent shockwaves through Buckingham Palace, social media, and even Parliament. She didn't scream. She didn't accuse. She simply spoke with clarity, calm, and just enough mystery to make the world lean in. And right as her words echoed across the globe, Parliament began formal discussions about stripping Harry of his royal titles. Coincidence? Or something far more calculated? Meghan Markle hasn't said a single word, and that silence might be the loudest statement of all. Let's break it down, because this story isn't just about an ex. It's about identity, legacy, and whether Harry and Meghan are about to lose the one thing that still connects them to the crown. For years, she kept quiet. She watched from the sidelines as Prince Harry's life unraveled under the brightest spotlight in the world. She saw the wedding, the interviews, the explosive memoir. And through it all, she said nothing. Until now. In a recent interview that seemed almost too calm to cause damage, Harry's ex spoke softly, but with razor-sharp precision. She never mentioned Meghan by name. Not once. But that absence? It was deafening. She described a man who once felt grounded, thoughtful, someone who, even under pressure, seemed to know who he was. But not anymore. Her words painted a picture, not of a villain, not a victim, but of someone lost. She spoke of relationships collapsing under pressure, love that didn't lead where it promised, and choices made too quickly to be undone. And just like that, with no drama, no shouting, no expose, she planted a seed. A quiet suggestion that Harry's path might not be as noble or as free as he once thought. But while the internet reeled from her reflections, something even more explosive was brewing in London. Across the Atlantic, behind the polished walls of the British Parliament, lawmakers were preparing something shocking. A review of the Titles Deprivation Act, a 100-year-old law once used against traitors and wartime defectors. Now, they're looking at Prince Harry. What began as whispers in political circles has turned into active conversations. Some even calling for Harry to be officially stripped of the Duke of Sussex title. For most people, that might sound symbolic. But in royal circles, titles mean everything. They unlock doors, signal power, and hold weight in every deal, every appearance, every piece of press. Without the title, Harry becomes, well, just Harry. And for Meghan, that means no more Duchess, no more Her Royal Highness, a label she agreed to stop using, but one she's still linked to by perception. And as this movement grows stronger, the palace remains eerily silent. Except one figure, quietly, is rumored to be standing behind it. Prince William has said nothing. No press release. No comment. Nothing. But royal insiders say that silence is no accident. According to reports, William isn't blocking Parliament's moves, and some believe he's quietly supporting them. Not out of hatred, not out of revenge, but out of duty. William sees the monarchy as something sacred, something worth protecting, even from family. And if that means letting Harry's titles go, so be it. He's always been the more reserved brother, the one who avoids headlines. But this time, his silence might be the clearest answer we've seen. And it draws a sharp contrast with their father, King Charles. Because Charles? He's playing a very different game. Behind closed doors, sources say King Charles is deeply upset. Not because of the ex's interview or the media circus, but because of what it's doing to the monarchy itself. He waited a lifetime to lead. And now, just years into his reign, his second son is pulling the institution into chaos again. But here's where Charles is clever. He's not stepping in directly. He's not making the move himself. He's letting Parliament take the lead. That way, when Harry's titles are removed, it won't look personal. It won't look like a royal punishment. It'll look like protocol, like a government decision. No battle, no blame, just a clean break. And just as this royal chessboard shifted, Meghan made a mistake. A small one, yes, but one that cost her big. It started with a podcast, a thank you basket, A nice gesture. But the note? It was signed Her Royal Highness Meghan Markle. And that crossed a line. After stepping down from royal duties, Meghan and Harry agreed not to use those titles, especially in public, especially in business. To the average person, it might seem harmless, but to the palace and to the British public, it looked like a quiet rebellion, a way of clinging to the crown while rejecting everything it stands for. And people noticed, fast, which brings us to the people themselves. Because this time, they're not just watching, they're acting. Thousands, yes, thousands of citizens from Sussex and beyond have signed formal petitions demanding that Parliament remove Harry's titles. This isn't Twitter outrage. These are official documents, backed by names, signatures, and real momentum. One comment echoed everywhere. He doesn't represent us anymore. He represents himself. And that hits hard. For the monarchy, it's a warning. For Harry and Meghan, it's a reckoning. Because if Parliament acts, the fallout won't just be symbolic. It'll be financial, reputational, permanent, and their entire brand, built on royal proximity, could crumble. Let's be real. Harry and Meghan didn't become global icons just because of charisma. They were the Duke and Duchess. Royalty in exile. The mystery, the legacy, the lineage, that's what made them powerful. But without that, they're celebrities, influencers, with a complicated past and no institutional edge. Imagine the next event. Cameras flashing, press waiting, and instead of His Royal Highness the Duke of Sussex, the announcer says, Mr. Harry Windsor. No title, no distinction, just a name. For some, that's freedom. For others, it's a fall from grace. Through all of this, every whisper, every headline, Meghan hasn't said a word. No statement, no Instagram story, no podcast pivot, just silence. And that silence? It might be strategic. Some believe she's choosing to rise above. Others think she's waiting, measuring the damage, planning the next move. But the truth is, silence in today's media world is rarely just silence. It's power or fear. And while Meghan watches, one voice from Harry's past has already changed everything. And she might not be done yet. This didn't feel like a random interview. It felt like the first domino. And if Harry's ex is just the first to speak, who might come next? Former friends? Staff? Advisors? The timing, so close to Parliament's movement, the public backlash, the palace tensions, feels too perfect to ignore. One voice has already stirred the pot, but if more come forward, the story shifts entirely. It won't just be about a title anymore. It'll be about truth, identity, and whether Harry and Meghan ever really escaped the crown, or if they just delayed the inevitable. So here's the question. Can you reject a system, expose its secrets, walk away from its duties, and still wear the titles it gave you? To many, the answer is simple. No. If you want independence, you accept the separation that comes with it. But for Harry, it's more complicated. He's not just losing a title. He's losing the last thread that ties him to a life, an identity that defined him for over 30 years. Every deal, every show, every stage moment, they were never just Harry and Meghan. They were royal. Without that, the brand unravels. So what comes next? That depends on whether this truly was the end or just the beginning. And if Harry's ex has more to say, it may already be too late to undo what her silence and then her words set in motion. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.